York.
Let's talk Jaws Live, baby. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right. Hey, and here we are. Back for
Hey,
another
everybody.
Thursday. Hello. How is everybody doing?
Great.
Great.
Living up the week?
Can't complain.
Yeah. Friday Eve. Nothing to complain about whatsoever. Awesome. Well, hope everyone's been doing well and staying safe. And I don't know about you guys, but we've kind of been getting a taste of winter this week out my way. It went from like beautiful fall to, oh, guess what's coming? And that's kind of been the week. So I don't know about you guys, but yes, we've definitely been getting a bit of that. So
You have to watch out for frozen iguanas dropping out of trees.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
It's gonna be 77 here Saturday. I'm going golfing.
Wow.
are you a golfer, Mike?
I get around.
Do you
Not as much
really?
as I used to, but it's just fun because I get to go spend 4 hours with my son and my grandson
Sure.
and just do, talk and do dad and son stuff.
That's nice.
Sure. Wow. Just never pictured you as a golfer. I don't know why. Not that that's a good or a bad thing, Mike, but yeah. I mean, I know you as the baseball player and all that good stuff, but yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we've got a special guest this week, and we have a thief among thieves here. We have a Jaws super fan. We have Betsy Kowalski joining us this week. So nice round of applause for Betsy.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Spending some time with us. We became, I don't want to say aware of you, but ran into you and some of us met you during the 50th anniversary of Jaws. And Betsy, I'm sure you can attest that if you're a Jaws fan, that was just an
Incredible.
unbelievable experience. The pinnacle of any Jaws fan trip, I think, is going to be to Martha's Vineyard. And being there for the 50th
Absolutely.
is just incredible.
It was a trip of a lifetime for sure. Something I've been waiting for.
We all have. We are in anticipation. Yeah.
Had you ever been there before?
Never.
Oh.
Never. I have never been above New York City. So
Wow.
a whole section up there. Everywhere else I've been, but I don't think I've ever been up northeast like that.
Beautiful, wasn't it? It was beautiful.
Gold.
Gorgeous. Well, Betsy, can you give us a little bit of background on you and kind of what turned you on to sharks or Jaws in general?
I know that when we were all at the Jaws 50th, the thing that we were all talking about is how many times we saw Jaws. So, and this is the truth that when Jaws first came out in 75, I've at least seen it once a week for 50 years. So you could say around 2,500, 50, I don't know. But I just saw it 3 times this past week. So, sometimes I would see it 3 or 4 times a week. And it's just, and it's like a new every time I see it. And I don't ever get bored with that movie.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just incredible. And the thing that I remember the most when we heard about Jaws, I told the guys a little bit about, some of the things that turned me on to sharks, and seeing the movie Blue Water, White Death was one of them. And then, so right after that, I really got interested in finding a lot of materials, books about sharks and wanting to know all about them. And after that, my mom and I were reading an excerpt of books in the Newsweek magazine, how they used to have it. Now, I know that everybody says the book came out in 1974. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Because I know I was still in high school when we saw the little bit about that because shark, all right there, we focused on it. And my mom belonged to the Doubleday Book Club. And then, like in early, like 71, 72, I think we got that book in our Doubleday. And of course, we were waiting for it and read it. And I had that book until about 2 years ago and it disappeared. But
Oh, you're kidding.
no, so I've not only seen the movie so much, but I'm sure I've read the book about 10 or 15 times, if not more. So it was just the interest that I think I thought of as a kid. Here you are swimming in the water, and this huge fish can come up and just eat you. So it was just, I don't know, just an odd thing that I got interested in. And I know all about those early shark attacks and reading some of these old books. I'm sorry, I can't remember the authors of them, and then those were the books when Eugenie Clark was an ichthyologist in, I think, Florida and did a lot of study. So I read all her books and I just found it interesting. I still look for books, book sales. I have tons of them. So I got an interest in it, got my little brother interested in it. Like I was 23 when Jaws came out. My little brother was 7. So
Oh, wow.
I know.
Wow. That's quite the connection with the age difference. I mean,
Yes.
that really is kind of nice,
And I tell you what, we really enjoyed the trip to Martha's Vineyard because I traveled with him where he didn't have to go to work or go out of town. And I was just house sitting. We really spent a lot of quality time together. And I'm really close with all my brothers. But that was a really good experience for both of us.
Very nice.
And then I mentioned before when my brother and I got to Martha's Vineyard, we found our people. Here's everybody. And so I think I enjoyed more looking at all the people than actually seeing, some of the actors and just meeting everyday fanatics. So my dog's name is Finn.
It's nice to know you're not the only one. I remember going to the first Jaws Fest. Well, actually finding Jake Gove's JawsMovie.com page and talking with other people, but to, get out the airplane and just, oh my gosh, there's people like I'm not the weird one.
Yeah. People tease me about all my T-shirts and my socks, and it was like I just found everybody. I was so happy.
The Jaws Fest was the same weekend as my former in-laws' 50th anniversary wedding anniversary. And I got invited to that, and I went. I went to the vineyard, but my son's mom told my son, "Your dad needs to give up his love affair with Roy Scheider." And I was like, "Never."
Nuh-uh.
Here we are.
So now there are so many shark movies out. I mean, I've still seen all of those, but I still go back to Jaws once a week.
It's amazing. You're talking about wearing the T-shirts. Everybody, when we were in Martha's Vineyard, so many people wearing T-shirts, and people that weren't like maybe non-Jaws fans, they'd come by and they see you wearing a Jaws shirt. They fist bump you. You knew that you were part of that community.
Yes.
Even to this day, I was in New York City not too long ago, and I was wearing a Jaws shirt, and I can't tell you how many people came up to me like Jaws, and they were doing the music behind me.
Yeah.
That's the power of that film, even to this day. Even in New York City, in Manhattan, Times Square, people were just like, hey, great shirt, great hat, love that movie.
I have a funny story that my phone on the text message alert is the theme to Jaws. And I was in an elevator at a medical building, and it went off, and I hurried, tried to get into my pocket to get the phone. And when I finally did, I turned it off, and the lady behind me said, "Oh, thank God, I thought we were in trouble." So everybody kind of gets a kick out of it.
Well, and
or they're annoyed.
I mean, everyone always seemed to notice it, but I want to say within the last 6 months, and probably within the last 2 years, the relevancy has come back around front. because of the parallels with COVID, because of the 50th anniversary. I have people now that aren't necessarily, quote, Jaws fans that will want to come up and talk to me. I had an administrator from my school come up and go, I saw your Jaws sticker. Man, that was a great film. And so it's nice to see that come back around again. It really is.
Yeah. Even with all the special effects they have these days, that shark really looks weird coming up on the boat, but that's part of the Jaws. I mean, I still just love it.
We all feel the same way. Same as you talking about running into your people. It is. We've all shared that sentiment. Yes.
Sanctuary.
Yes.
Well, that was the first festival I've been to, so it was really something.
I hate to tell you, but it's going to be downhill from there. If that was your first one, I can't imagine you're going to do one that tops the 50th anniversary. But
I don't think I'll make the 75th.
I hope there's a better one, but that week, I was up there for 3 weeks, that week
awesome.
of the 50th was just, so memorable. You're not going to forget it. It was just, when I came home, I was like, wait a second, did we, that really all take place? Yeah,
I know. All my friends said I had a grin on my face forever.
Sure.
I have a TikTok video that Val had posted up of Betsy at the museum on the 50th. Why don't I pull that in here real quick, guys? Sound good?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull that in here. Let's see what we got. There we go. All right. Let me get it up and running here.
2,055 times.
Since 1975.
Well, it went on video in 1980.
Right.
So I said like 45 years, once a week.
God bless. You're a true fan.
Thank you.
Wow.
20,000 people love that video.
Oh my God.
20,000. That's pretty good.
I'll say. Amazing.
So as many times as you've seen the movie, what do you look for now, or what do you pay more attention to? Because I don't know about you, but what I watch and look for now and what I look for, say, 30 years ago, completely different spectrum. Have you changed over time?
Not too much, because I'm really, at this age, I'm not as observant as I used to be. But my brother pointed out something, that when they're all on the dock with the tiger shark and Hooper's standing there, that this guy is kind of blowing on his neck. And I was like, well, I never noticed that before. But my brother pointed out, and of course we watched it again, and yep, sure enough. So, and there was something else, but I really can't remember what that was that somebody had noticed. But no, I just enjoy the story and seeing the sharks.
Very cool. Very cool. There's a bunch of little nuances. I apologize. We have a bunch of comments coming in here, and I am ignoring the comment. Betsy, because we are live, we do have people that can actually come in and comment. And so I thought let me throw a couple of these up. So we have Christy Capone saying, "Hi all." Hi Betsy.
Hello.
It's my wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have Robert joining us from over in UK. Hey guys, happy to be here. So he's hanging out with us. Yeah. Mark from Massachusetts. Mark's the lucky guy. He doesn't live terribly far away from the ferry. So
Wow. That's awesome.
Good guy. Yeah, he gets there fairly regularly. Yeah. So met a lot of people when I was there. Had a blast. Yeah. Yeah. And Christy just thinks you're a gem. So
thank you.
Look at that. All
sure
right.
is.
Love it. Awesome. So
Thank you.
So let me ask you a question. You and I share a couple parallels. You were a teacher.
Yes.
I'm a school teacher. A big Jaws fan. Did you try and pass it on to some of your students, or were they aware of that?
No, the students that I worked with were really not aware. But I used to do a lot of craft activities with them, with having to do with shark themes.
There you
Everything
go.
I look for the paper plate stuff and construction paper. A lot of my students didn't even have verbal language, and a lot of the activities you had to do hand over hand to complete. But I still did it with them. So
Very nice.
I wish I could have. My bulletin boards when I was in the classroom had Jaws themes. So I carried
Very
it
nice.
on there and passed it down to my little brother.
There you go. There you go. And that's what it takes. You got to kind of push it on. My kids all know. I mean, I don't walk around in Jaws shirts every day, but where I have my lunch calendar, I've got a big Bruce.
Oh,
It
nice.
says, lunch yum. I've got a Jaws poster. I've got stuff plastered all over the place. I mean, just you
Yeah.
name it. And it's cool because they shower me with gifts of like little books about sharks or
Yes, I
pair
have all
of
those.
like shark socks, or some kid got me the shark ugly Christmas or Jaws Christmas
Oh, I've got
sweater
the
the
one
one
with the
year.
quilt
And
with the plastic shark. Yeah, I've got a couple of those. My brother.
See,
so
talking about
it's neat. Go ahead, Val.
talking about family, like when Jaws came out, Betsy, I was 10 years old, and
Wow.
I went to no, I'm sorry, I was 12 years old, and any chance I had, I would go to the movies, and any opportunity to see it again with my brother and sister is an opportunity to see the movie again through their eyes. I
Mhm.
took my sister was 10 years old when I took her, and my brother was 5 years old
Oh
when I
my, yeah.
I specifically remember we saw it the day after Christmas in 1975 in Jersey City, in one of these really urban areas, and it was packed because it was
Oh
99.
yeah.
It was 99 cents to see Jaws.
Yeah.
It had already finished, and
Increased prices.
the theater was packed, and I made I made my brother a huge fan, not as big as Jaws fan as your brother,
Oh
but
my
a
gosh.
huge movie fan because I would drag my brother and sister to the movies every chance I had, and Jaws was one of the first ones I ever did that with.
Well, my brother has a degree in film and movies, so
Oh,
he does
Oh, wow.
everything with movies. He likes to, you know, read and stuff, and just he gets into it, and he knows all the, directors of this and that. So it's always cool to hang out with him and go to the movies.
I bet.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we're on the subject of movies. Interested on your perspective as well as everyone else's perspective. So, outside of Jaws, which shark movies do you think would you deem as being pretty credible, pretty good movies, Betsy?
Well, I really like the Deep Blue Sea movies.
Okay.
And there was another one that, The Shallows was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I thought
like
that was
that
really
one.
done well.
Yeah. And then usually I'll look the Meg. It's not, I like those.
Sure. It was a popcorn movie. Absolutely.
Yeah,
The second
that's a
one.
good one. All those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even the last Deep Blue Sea is pretty good if you haven't seen it. It's a pretty good storyline.
I
I've
have
only
not seen that one.
I've
Yeah.
only seen the first one. The other ones were straight to video.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
agree with you, Betsy. The Shallows
Yeah,
might
it's
be
pretty good.
one of the very better
Yeah.
shark films. And the first Deep Blue Sea I thought was great.
Yeah,
And
I
Meg-
like that one.
Meg is fun. They're fun movies.
Yeah,
But
I like those.
Popcorn movies. I just, of course, names always escape me. I just saw a new one that just got released, and I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I know you're talking about.
Is that the serial
It's-
killer?
No, it's a bunch of Australians in World War II, and they're on it. A ship
Oh.
has capsized, and they're basically survival
Oh.
on the ocean on this ship, and this great white is just hanging out because he's got a food source. But on top of that, there's some character development of dealing with survival situations, no food, people being injured. At one point, a Jap Zero plane comes in and starts shooting at them,
Oh.
and so
It's called.
was
I'm sorry. It's called Beast of War.
that's what I knew. War was in the name. I kept thinking War Horse, but I knew that wasn't it because it's a shark.
Mhm.
Horse in the sea.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I agree. Those sounds like some pretty good ones. There was a series. Yep, that's it
Okay.
right there. Yeah, there's some merit to it. I sat and watched it and caught
I
it.
heard it's good.
Yeah,
Hmm?
there's
And
some that are out there that are done pretty
sharks
well.
in World War II. I mean, that's my favorite subject. So
Yeah. And you know what? Sharknado definitely hit a stride with people. When those came out, it was like I not that I want to parallel, but it was like the Batman series in the 60s.
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone wanted to be in one of the Sharknado movies.
That's
And
a
You
I
know what I
enjoyed
mean?
them.
a good observation.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of your older actors, TV, film. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think
Interesting.
one of the sharks in Sharknado 2, because Tommy Reed, the director, is a good friend of Mike Giancarelli, my website partner, who's doing the Jaws of Revenge documentary. But one of the
Oh,
sharks that's frozen, it's like something mediumicus. So they named one of the sharks after the website.
Media Mike Shark? Are you serious? In Sharknado?
Yeah,
We
the
got to
scientific
find that
name.
clip. We got to find that.
come here, buddy.
And then he's in the third one. My partner Mike's in the third one.
Which one is it? Do you know, Mike? Which one are you in?
Well, I'm not in any of them, but the website's in the second one.
Well, the Media Mike. I mean, yeah. Okay, it's in the second one. I got to search that out. I got
Yeah.
to
You know,
jot
they
that
were
down.
all the Sharknado films. I don't know how many there are, 5 or 6 of them.
I think
I
there's
just-
5, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were all. I think I got all 5 of them digitally for like $9.99. They were all on
love it.
sale on iTunes, on Apple. So I remember seeing the first one and maybe the second one, and it's goofy fun. I mean, you know, all it does is
Come here.
bring more awareness to Jaws. Any shark
really
movie nowadays just brings all the awareness back to Jaws, which is
Yes,
great.
it does.
It really does.
There are
And
so
there's
many
been-
different shark movies.
There really is, and there's been some really nice documentaries coming out with relevancy in the last handful of years, especially with the great whites returning to Cape Cod. There's been quite a few. Yeah.
Wow.
Very, very well done too. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Moving on. So next question, Betsy, and this is for everyone, but interested on Betsy's perspective on things, as well as you guys at home. Chime in with your answers to these because we want to hear. I feel like we've got a group of us together here with someone who's definitely a Jaws super fan, but hearing some different perspectives here. So outside of the 3 main characters, which character do you pay the most attention to in the movie Jaws?
Oh, Hendrix.
Hendrix. Yeah. Okay. All right. You're a
I say
Hendrix
Mayor
fan.
Vaughn.
He
Mayor
was
Vaughn.
one of my favorites before I even met him.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Sounds like you and Judy Pankow should talk.
I know. We have.
Judy loved Hendrix. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I've got their CD.
Oh, very cool. Yes. Yeah. Well, you saw her. She performed at the end
Yes,
of our
I
show.
saw her
then.
sing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
She did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. All right. So, Val, you're saying Mayor
Mayor
Vaughn.
Vaughn, yeah, he's
Oh,
just a great
okay.
character with great lines.
Yeah.
Murray Hamilton was a terrific actor, and
Yeah.
he's the fourth lead in that film, without a doubt.
That's right.
And
Huh.
he's responsible for some of the greatest scenes in that film. So, yeah, I mean, Hendrix comes in, Jeffrey Kramer comes in, a little bit after that, but I got to go with Mayor Vaughn.
All right. And James is watching over on my page. He's thrown in a couple answers. Man of War with that movie. James, we want to hear an answer from you too, buddy. What character do you pay attention to? But Hooper, what about you?
I'm second what Val said about Vaughn.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call.
They're such a great villain.
He really is. He
And
really
a
is. And he's-
fashion horse.
and he's a vulnerable villain though. Like he shows his vulnerable sides.
His
You
kids
see
were on
him
this week, too.
you see
Is
him
he a
crack
villain
and
though?
break
Is he a
down.
villain? I mean, would we call him a villain? I'd call him like, self-absorbed,
Sure.
looking out for the town. I don't know if he's really a villain, but
You're right.
what do you think, Michael?
I think with the backstory that's in the novel, He's
Yeah.
more of a villain, but not knowing that, he's just. I mean, like he says, I'm acting in the town's best interest, which he was, but still, you gotta know when to cut your losses.
Remember, his kids were on the beach too.
Right.
That's right.
So which character do you despise? Which when you watch them on the screen, is there any characters that you're like, man, just the evil antithesis of any of the mains?
It's a good question.
Well, someone asked a question a few months ago, and I kind of answered kiddingly, but the change in the what guy goes from this
There you go.
Andy Devine looking comic relief to I'm going to shove your head inside the shark's mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good one. Hoop.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
Now stick your freaking head in there. We'll see if it's a man eater. Yeah, that guy.
Exactly. Yes. I
Not
think
as
it's
bad as the one
Devine.
blowing down his neck, though. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go. I
Hooper?
was going to say that.
Not as bad as the one. That is the creepiest thing I think I've ever seen
Yeah.
happen on film. You know what I mean? Like,
I myself
if you
just
want to, yeah. I mean, not like physically hurt someone or bother someone, but if you want to creep someone out, walk up and blow down the back of their neck once
Oh,
to
yeah.
see the reaction you get from them. We got a couple people chiming in here with an answer to that. So Christy's saying, I forgot her name, but the woman who said to Ellen, "You'll
Oh,
never be
yeah.
an Islander."
Yep,
This
that's
is
a good one.
Taft.
Mrs. Taft,
Mrs.
aka
Taft, honey, that's Mrs. Taft.
the original Karen, is kind of what she's been donned by a lot of people.
She also
The
said, I
original?
don't think that's funny. That's not funny at all. That's
Yeah.
her.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And she's the one that I think you hear in the background saying, 24 hours, it's like 2 weeks. Isn't that her voice or no?
I don't know.
I think so. I don't
I'm
know.
not sure. I always wondered that. I thought it would be hers, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that was Allison Kane, Carl Gottlieb's wife at the time, because she did she put all the actors, all the ADR they call it, all the background stuff, because Michael McKean from Spinal Tap and Lenny and Squiggy, he's one of the voices in Jaws too.
Oh.
Mhm.
Huh.
And then of course Howard Hessman in Jaws too.
Yeah.
This guy. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. Yeah. You know how many years it took till I saw
Now I
that
can't
happen?
unsee it.
Yeah, right. Now every time you watch the scene, that's what you sit and you wait and you look for that.
Mhm.
You know, there are certain things that I do with that. Yeah.
Come here.
Very cool.
Well, I think that's what we all do nowadays, right? All of us, if we're rewatching Jaws, we're trying to find something that we've
Yeah.
never seen before.
Yes.
Like I myself, I'm looking in the background, all the background actors and characters. I'm looking to see something like how they're acting, and there's so much that I've just in the last year that I've noticed in the background that I've never noticed before. So it's always a challenge to try to find something new.
I feel like the creepy guy at the beach who's just standing there people watching for 3 hours, because that's all I do is I sit and I watch all the characters. That's exactly, and
yeah.
Betsy, that's why I asked you that, because when I was younger, I would watch it for the action scenes or
Yeah.
for some of the dialogue, and now I'm constantly scanning through what's going on behind the main characters, constantly.
Well, I'm kind of
And
acting it out as it's on, doing the speeches and conversations. I do it before they do, so I think that's what I concentrate on, what they said.
Very cool. Yeah. And then, of course, you deep dive on the outtakes and the parts that you can get your hands on that weren't in the film. There's some pretty interesting things there too. Have you seen any of those, Betsy?
No, I haven't seen many of them at all. It's almost like I want to keep that movie real and not see all
Most
the
of them are on the Blu-ray, on the documentary, the 2005 documentary, and I've got a blooper.
Oh, down here. Oh. Sorry. I had to let my
good.
dog out.
Yeah,
Well,
no problem.
Let's see your shirt. Let's see your shirt, Betsy. Let's
Oh.
see the shirt.
It's the blue one that just with the jaws.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Mike, buddy, I don't know if you can hear us, but you're completely froze. So I know I'm having some minor tech issues tonight. I'll message him quick. Let him know.
You're perfectly clear now, Nate.
Oh, I'm good. I'm all
Yeah.
good now.
Ever
Awesome.
since the show started, yep.
Apparently, I passed it on to Mike. So
Mike just looks like he's very intense. He's like,
he's deep in thought.
He's looking at something in Jaws. He's trying to find something.
The only thing when that happens is you hope and pray that it's not a horrible shot of you, like your eyes half open,
Right?
Yeah. Let me just let him know quick. All right.
Come back to us, Mike.
All right. Well, so here's a question that might drive some ideas. So we know plenty of people who are fan. In my opinion, Jaws fan is anyone who enjoys the movie, right? Anyone who watches a movie, enjoys a movie, has seen the movie beyond, I don't know, we'll say maybe like one or two times or just a few times. But I guess my question is, what do you consider to be the difference between a fan and like a super fan or a mega fan? Where's the delineation? Because I feel like we fit into that category.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think delineates the fan from, as my wife would lovingly call it, the nut jobs? Well,
I think it's that you want to see the movie as many times as you can, and you get everything related to it, like all the DVDs. I even have a VH tape, and just all those kinds of things. And people, you look for everything that has Jaws on it, and you get so proud when you find something different.
true.
I think that's what a mega fan is. You live to meet people finally. I'm so happy, to have other people to talk to that appreciate it like I do instead of laughing at me.
Yeah. Well, what about you guys? What do you guys consider to be the delineation, say, between like the fan and the mega fan?
I'll tell you, it's knowing every line of the film and just quoting
Absolutely.
it in everyday life. I'm throwing out lines, just re-quoting every line. Even my wife is quoting lines now. So
I love it.
Your fan is the film inside out, and you when you see it in the theater, you cheer every line, every line. So
yeah,
that's it for me.
I would say getting a tattoo is that's a permanent commitment right there.
My brother has about 5 of them, Jaws.
Does he really? Very nice.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I would say, yeah, Hooper, I'd say you're pretty spot on with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. What about you, Mike? You add anything to that at all? Perhaps to being a mega fan versus a fan, Mike?
Can you hear us?
I didn't hear the whole question. I got bumped off and went
sorry.
on a Planet of the Apes ramp. Did that work? Did you guys hear me? I went on a Planet of the Apes ramp. I had to come back. I was like, I wonder.
Let me let my dog back.
Go ahead, continue to continue it.
we were. I had asked Betsy, and honestly, I've been throwing questions out, not just for Betsy, but for anyone and everyone. What do you consider to be the delineation between a Jaws fan and like the super fan or the mega fan? And so far, we've heard, collecting everything you possibly can. Val said knowing all the lines to the movie in and out. Hooper said getting a tattoo. So what do you think? Can you add to that at all?
Well, go ahead.
Trying to get Lee Fierro to slap your girlfriend and ask her to marry you. So
that constitutes that. I think that works. Yeah.
That was my initial plan. Yeah.
We got.
I was talked out.
Probably not the worst thing to be talked out of, though, right?
if your kids are named Brody and Quint, you might be a mega fan.
Or your dog Finn.
There you
Here's
go.
Finn.
We've got two cats. We've got
But I
Amity
thought
and
it would be-
Hooper. So
I
yeah.
love it.
I was going to say your cats have cool names.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Good, Mike.
I was going to say, I thought the original idea was to have Lee Fierro go up to Juanita and just, but not really smack her, but give her like a tap and then hold out the ring and say, Mike wants you to marry him. I just wanted you to know that. And everybody was like, that is the stupidest, that is the worst thing you could ever do. So I just popped the question during the intermission of the Shark
Oh,
is Still
my.
Working that we were watching. Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody got, I bought, for you youngsters, you don't know, they used to have the bubble gum rings. You could, put a nickel in and get the bubble gum. It was a Jaws ring. And I brought like 25 of them to the island in ring boxes. And I handed them out to everybody at the screening, kind of like, here's a gift. And then, and my son helped me hand them out, but then he had the one that had the real ring in it. So that's how I proposed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I still like my idea better, but
We do have a couple people from home chiming in. Their opinion, what makes the difference. We got, sorry, wrong comment there, but Christy's saying, you all don't get tired of seeing the movie or talking about it, and it constantly makes you happy.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
True, honey.
That's a good call. And Christy, if I can add to your comment, I would have to say for me, the delineation is when I reach over to say something to Jen and the movie's on and she goes, would you stop? Because because you're just throwing the next line out, or you're like, oh, Roy Scheider puts his hand up right here so Quint knows what to do,
One of Christy's favorite lines is, well, why don't you come down here and try and chump some of this shit?
Yeah.
She says that to me all the time.
I love it.
Very nice. Very nice. And Matt's chiming in,
There you
saying
go.
when Mike and I were in high school, it was a regular pursuit to find anything Jaws. I can't tell you how many times we walked into Walden Books or B. Dalton's to check out the latest offerings.
Yeah.
It's become a lifetime compulsion. Yeah.
Are there any, Michael, are there any Jaws books that you guys know of that aren't available anymore? I mean, are there any famous Jaws books that just aren't in print anymore? I mean,
no, I mean, like the Jaws, they did the Jaws joke book. You can still find that on eBay. I know until I updated Edith Blake's book in 2020, it had been out of print really since 1980.
wow.
And then, they had the bootleg copy that came out in 2005. But then Carl,
I bought that, by the way.
the Jaws log has never been out of print.
Right.
So, which is just a testament to Carl's work.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think those were the two, Edie's book and Carl's book. And there are lots of magazines. I got a bunch of, fan magazines that came with posters and that kind of stuff downstairs. But I think those are really the only two books about the film that aren't available now. Since then, the last 20 years, there's been, if you have the Fanatics book, you see there's a bunch of them that I included. So
Sure. And the original copy, and I didn't realize until, I don't know, it was an article, Mike, either you did or maybe Ross did, about even in the original first printed series, there was two different versions. And you had to check something in to see if the one apparently was really, really sought after. It was fetching some pretty serious money, I guess, because it was very low volume. And I ran and grabbed mine and opened mine up and looked and checked mine out. And nope, I don't have that one. But I have one of the originals. So with the original cover art, before they did the poster art. So very cool stuff. Yeah. All right, we got Matt.
That was Edie's original book.
Yeah,
when she
Yeah.
self-published. That's when she self-published.
I think that's the one I have, Michael. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say I've got that one, but someone had pirated that thing, and it was such
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
horrible.
bunch of great.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know which.
it was like they scanned the pages on a Xerox machine. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't see the pictures. I mean, it was terrible.
I think that's the one I have. I mean, I bought it on Amazon, so I'm surprised I got that through Amazon.
They sold them for a while, and it wasn't until my publisher reached out and got a cease and desist on a bunch of grapes. They couldn't sell anymore. They couldn't print anymore. Amazon couldn't sell them anymore. Somebody was selling them on eBay, and I reported him a couple months ago, and he's pulled it off. But he's probably got 100 of them in a box somewhere. But people buy them. But it's just first off, he's not. Her estate's not making any money off of it.
Right.
And secondly, it's just a horrible reproduction.
It really, it's very terrible looking.
Well, your
really.
updated version is great, Mike, especially the hardcover, which I got from you.
Oh,
Both of them.
That's
Incredible.
the definitive version, the one that you updated and took care of. So kudos to you.
My pleasure to do it. I was so moved that Edie asked me to do it.
Yeah.
Because she'd always been great to me. From the first time I called her and she sent me pictures and everything else, but asked me to do that. I was just, that's the best thing. That and having Patricia Neal call me one day. Those are the two best things Edie Blake ever did for me. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hello, Mike. This is Patricia Neal. I'm like, oh my God.
And Matt's trying back in says Joe Alves has an extensive Jaws book. Guess my highest record. Yes, his book is incredible.
Designing Jaws. It's a terrific book. I have.
Yes.
Yes.
So do I. Yes.
Great book.
Yeah, I brought it along on the vineyard, but I couldn't bring myself when he was at the show to walk up and say, "Can I get you to sign this?" I just was like trying to keep that boundary of respect. You know what I mean? I just I had a couple things I wanted to get signed and I didn't, but honestly, I enjoyed the fact that I had I was able to be there. I have that memory, and to me that was incredible. I'm sitting there across the table.
His new book is really good too.
Yeah, the new book is the book I won at the reunion for somebody didn't want it or something, so they gave it to me because I came in third.
Really?
I already had a copy of it. Yeah, the trivia guys that ran that trivia, they came in third or something or second, and the book was too heavy. So Kathy, God bless her soul, from Martha's Vineyard Museum, said
Kathy Meown gave it to
gave me the book. Yep, that book.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, nice.
So I had 2 copies of it. And I decided, let me send I got another copy. I sent it to my brother in California. I figured it's not going to cost much. It cost like $30 to ship that book.
Oh my God.
It's almost as much as the book. I'm like, wow, that's a heavy book. A heavy book.
I took it home in my suitcase. I almost had to take it out. I was almost in my suitcase the way.
Great book.
Mark Ames is chiming in. He's saying, I'm a late bloomer. I got the Jaws book first and then the Jaws log. Yeah. Yeah.
I think most people did.
Yeah.
Maybe back then.
Yeah, that is something that
I'll be there in a minute.
just about anyone who's a Jaws nut has a copy of that floating around somewhere. In fact, first time, it was my second trip to the island. I had Jeff Voorhees. I happened to have my Jaws log with me and ran into Jeff. So I had him sign the page in there that mentioned him. So yeah, very cool. Good stuff.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Sounds
All
like
right.
you guys got a lot of nice stuff.
Well, I tell you, it's one thing as a Jaws fan, the collection that comes along with it. And I'm not much of a collector. These guys very much more so than I am. I definitely have a collection of things, not a huge one. I mean, honestly, I have most of it could fit in I don't know, 2 milk crates and a shelf. But I have, to me, some pretty special things, because of perhaps how I got them or where I got them or that extent. But these guys, wow, yeah, between the
That's
three of
amazing.
these guys and a handful of other, pretty close
Wow.
friends, they could open museums up.
I
And that's
love it.
no joke. No joke. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well, since we're hitting on the topic of some of that stuff, so how about like with all the memorabilia that has popped up in the last year, what's your preference with collections? Are you more into the original vintage stuff? Do you like seeing the new things that haven't been out yet? What do you guys have an eye for? Betsy, go ahead.
I like the kind of the off the wall stuff. My brother gave me the Alex Kintner Memorial Swim keychain.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that I like that kind of stuff. And we got the Amityville swim team T-shirts, and
Sure.
he sends me all these little things. That's what I kind of like that, and the action figures.
Yes.
I like this. Anything with Jaws on it, actually.
Sure.
So
What about the rest of you guys? What draws your eye in more than
I have mostly the new Jaws memorabilia, but I would love to get more of the vintage Jaws stuff, wherever that's available. I had a copy of that original book paperback somewhere too. I mean,
yeah,
but that looks cool. I like the vintage stuff, looks really cool because that's like, a testament to its time. I mean, the new stuff is cool too, but I got to search out some more vintage stuff.
Yeah, I've got a couple of vintage pieces. I've got some of the original Jaws 2 cards that are still wrapped up. The Topps cards not unopened. I got a Jaws 3 pack of the card. I have the cup that you see sitting there. I have the original cup.
Wow.
Outside of that, I mean, the only other thing I have that is quote vintage Jaws is I have a piece of the Orca 2, about a 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch piece of the Orca 2. And it's got the paperwork from the Murphys on it, the whole deal, and his wife hand wrote on the back of the plaque. And but yeah, so that I do have. But it's always interesting because some people really, really just love trying to get their hands on the really hard to get stuff because it hasn't been around. And a lot of that stuff, like the old rubber sharks, like dear God, those things weren't made to last 50 years,
Yeah.
And when we were kids, at least speaking for myself, I didn't collect things. I played with them until they broke and I threw them out because they were no good to me anymore, So, it wasn't quite the collector's market like it has been in the last 20 years. Maybe not necessarily for Jaws, but, some of these other things like Star Wars. We were kid, got Star Wars action figures, played with them. What was it, 95 when the movies got re-released? Every collector and his brother went out there and just bought droves of the action figures, and sat on them or, instant collectability. But I feel like at the time of Jaws, that wasn't necessarily a thing as much. I mean, maybe you guys can speak to that more than I can.
You're looking at, everybody thinks Star Wars was the first film to do all this tie-in memorabilia stuff. Look at Jaws. Jaws, I don't remember a film before Jaws that had T-shirts and books. And
that's true.
I think Jaws might be the first one. I don't remember anything before that.
Cover of Time magazine.
Right? I mean, I think Jaws is the granddaddy of of tie-in merchandise and ancillary sales.
Mike, you're muted.
Mike, you're muted, Mike.
Mike, you're muted, buddy.
Stop hitting that mute button.
And I'll never tell that story again. Planet of the Apes had trading cards and action figures, but
I have some.
really Jaws was the and I prefer the vintage stuff. Like someone just a friend of mine found that at a sale at one of the press books.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, no kidding.
That's all the ads and stuff. But I like that because it's not as prevalent. I mean, all this, there's so much 50th anniversary stuff out there that, like people like Mark Fitzgibbons and Eric Augustine, they buy one of everything. I'd be divorced if I did that. And to me, it's more fun to track something down that's I remember like 22 years ago, maybe on eBay, I bought one of those, the rubber shark, still had the sticker on it. I still have it.
Wow.
The 7-Eleven cup, the copy of the Jaws log. That's the stuff you really that I look for. I like to try to, find the old stuff every now and then on eBay, or somebody will throw something on Marketplace. So
Mhm. Yeah. I was in Paris in 1978 and went to a bookstore, and there was a copy of The Teeth from the Sea, and
Uh,
I was so tempted to buy it, but I instead bought an asterisk in the original French. But man, I wish I picked up that French translation of Jaws.
That would be a cool addition to have. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
like what is it? La Dents.
La Dent de la Mer.
Yeah.
The teeth
The
of the
Teeth
ocean.
from the
Dent
Sea.
de la Mer. Yeah.
And like La Squalo and all the different
Yeah.
translations. And
Well, squallow's Italian. That means shark in Italian. So.
yeah.
I don't know if you still can, but in the early days of eBay, you could get on there and you could pick a different country. You could pick the Italian eBay and then type in stuff. I bought a couple of things.
Really?
I got a nice La Squalo poster with Robert Shaw on it over
Oh,
there.
cool.
But
Wow.
Yeah, when I got my book signed by Laurent Bougereau, when he
Mhm.
signed his the book at the signing, he asked me, he goes, "Well, you do you know what it was called in Italy?" He said, I'm like, and I drew a blank for a second, and he's like, "Yep, Lo Squalo." Yeah, so yeah, he knows everything, that guy. Mhm.
He definitely does. Yeah. If there's an authority on that, that would be him. You got a couple people chiming in. Matt is saying a fun Jaws item to own is the hallowed Rona Barrett's Hollywood, which features Dreyfuss, Scheider, and Shaw on the cover.
Oh wow!
For years,
Yeah.
Mike and I considered that to be the holy grail.
Wow.
we would literally
Yeah.
play one-on-one basketball for ownership of that magazine. I'd have it for a week, and then we'd play, and he'd win, and he'd keep it for a week, and then we'd go Friendship Playground by his house, and he'd win again, and I'd have to give him a picture or something. Yeah, very competitive Jaws fans.
James over on the Jaws page just says a mega fan is someone who watches this show every week. So
There you go.
thank you, James. We'll take that, buddy. Thank you. You definitely are every bit of that word. Mega fan, without a doubt, James. Very cool.
And it's growing. This year has created more mega fans. Jaws has reached a new
Unbelievable.
audience this year. With the re-releases. Did you go back to the theater to see it, Betsy? Did you see it when it was re-released?
No, I haven't. Yeah, my brother just saw it a couple times, and I think he said, "Is it in 3D now?"
When it was released. It was released in 4 formats: 2D, 3D, IMAX, and 4DX, which I saw it in, which was crazy.
I think he did see it in that. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him. But no, I haven't. I would love to.
That's a unique experience. Seeing if you guys know what 4DX is, there's
When the seats move.
Yeah, the seats and
yeah,
the
water plays and the air and
the
Wow.
air, and every single jerk of a movement. And my sheet was.
Wow.
And I had water spraying in my face and bouncing up, and that's a great way to see Jaws. That was fun.
It's like the old feel around in a Kentucky Fried Movie.
Right? Television, movie.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, it has spawned a whole bunch. I got my start, years ago searching Jaws out on the internet, and it was like the jawsmovie.com. There was a couple, and that's, you would recognize certain names, and then not that I got away from it, but it kind of dissolved. I'd go back and read some of the archive stuff. And then when I started coming across, Facebook pages, stumbled onto Jaws, and I want to say it was, I don't know, it was probably after I went to the vineyard for the first time in I don't know, somewhere after 2016. And I started, you do deep dives, you go down rabbit holes, and you come across Jaws stuff, and you start stumbling onto things. And honestly, that's how I came across, our pages, just by that chance. And you started to see certain names that I saw on some of those old, floating by some of the old websites and stuff. So it was kind of neat to see that group of people still around, just changing with the platform and changing with the times. Was there ever like Jaws MySpace? Does anyone know about that?
No clue.
Remember MySpace before Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe there was, likely, right?
Yeah, highly likely. Yeah.
I would assume.
Tom,
And
his name Tom, the guy that ran MySpace.
Yeah.
God, I have no idea.
Boy, did Facebook
No
kill
idea.
MySpace, right, man? Facebook stuck a knife in it and buried it.
Oh, big time.
And I think is MySpace still even around? I think it is.
I don't know. I never was a part of it.
Me either.
No.
Years ago, Justin Bieber tried to turn it into a music site. But after that, who knows?
Yeah.
Not Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, okay.
Justin Timberlake
has
tried
the
to make
same
it a music site.
Has the same relevancy with me, Hoover. You could have said either one, and I would have the same reaction. So it's okay.
Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau bought it.
All right. One final question as we start to round out the hour here, and this kind of popped into my head for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a great shot of Roy. Thinking about Roy this week, and number two, the symbolism and something that's often talked about is the shooting stars that are in Jaws.
Mhm.
And it's very memorable, and they're often debated: were they real, were they not real? And the importance of it, but the importance of the current status of Jaws right now. I look at this as generally it's people that are in our age bracket. Okay, we've all majority of us have seen the movie, maybe not in the theaters, but relatively not too far after it came out. There's definitely a younger crowd out there. But what would you consider to be some of the shooting stars that are out there now, say in the business, or what would you consider to be, people that are gonna carry this on down the road? Because let's face it, I'm sure if you took a poll, the majority of it, number one, is going to be male. The majority of it, number two, is probably going to be my age on up. So what would you consider to be, the people that are going to carry this on beyond that? Anyone ring a bell? I'm going to start by saying we had him on the other week. I think Toby is one of those.
Oh yeah.
Toby is of the age.
Yep.
Highly motivated because of Spielberg's work and because of Jaws. And so much so he, took a trip across the ocean to get over here to see it for the 50th for his birthday. That's what he wanted to do.
Wow.
Coming out of film school. So
All younger filmmakers, I'm sure it's required viewing in film class. And in the young generation, my grandkids, they love it. We had a Veterans Day thing at my grandkids' school the other day, and he was telling because I'm in the Shark is still working, so I'm in a movie about Jaws. But my grandson told one of his friends, and he's in the third grade. He goes, he was in Jaws, and I said, no, I was in a movie about Jaws. And the two kids goes, you were in Jaws? I was like, old. You were 9 years old, and you know what Jaws is. That was like, that's so cool. So I just think every generation you're going to get, going to the theater when it came out, seeing people, bringing kids that had never seen it before, had only seen it when the Alamo Draft House was open here. I used to do every summer they do screenings. And I, do Q&A of the audience, and I'd, raise your hand who's never seen this movie before, and you'd sit there and I'd watch the audience more than I watched the film, because it's a great feeling to see them react. Here's 15-year-old Mike on the edge of a seat, at the University Cinema in Tampa, And now here I am 50 years later watching some 15-year-old kid react the exact same way I did. And it's just like, that's all you need.
You know,
Mhm.
I think if you polled any young filmmaker nowadays, any like younger filmmaker, what their influences are, I'll bet you most of them would say Jaws is one of the biggest influences in their careers
Oh
of
yeah.
how to make a movie and how to do it right and what made them want to become filmmakers. You ask, and I'm sure it's like 95% of them will cite Jaws. So they'll carry that tradition on,
Mhm.
and they'll be talking about Jaws forever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. And to the point what Mike said too, what I really like to see is when you see people going to see the movie, it's not individuals. When you start to see families going, or Betsy, sure you saw this when we were on the island, families going to events. To me
Yes,
that was pretty impressive.
it
It
was.
really was. I mean, my wife has always been a fan, obviously not near what I am, but my son came up and still is a huge fan. He has Jaws 2 poster in his bedroom on the wall to this day, an incredible fan of the films. And so it is, when you share that, it becomes a family experience. They hold on to that not just because it was Jaws, but also because it was something that you, as a memory that you shared, with your family. And I think that really kind of motivates and kind of moves that boat along quite well. Yeah. 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 All right. We've got a comment or two in here. We got Matt chiming in saying, I saw Jaws at the local theater 2 years ago with a crowd of kids who'd never seen it. I was laughing so hard. It was a wonderful experience. It truly is. It is. One of my best experiences. It was Father's Day, and I can't remember if it was the 40th or 45th. It was right around there, the anniversary of it, and it got re-released out for like a couple days. And it was Father's Day, and we went to the local AMC theater to see it, and we had a handful of younger people in front of us that hadn't seen the movie, and watching them jump in their seat, during certain scenes it makes the whole ticket for admission worth it. It was worth paying $30 for popcorn and soda. You know what I mean? Just to watch them do that.
It's the closest way to seeing the film for the first time again is sitting next to someone who's
Yeah.
never seen it. And
Right.
I try to do that all the time because that's as close as you're going to get to seeing the film for the first time is seeing it through their eyes, which is always great fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the coolest things I had happen, and Betsy, I wanted to share this with you because you being a school teacher, one of the coolest things I just had happen recently is I had a boy last year in my class. I teach third grade, and my kids know that I love Jaws. And dress down Fridays, I'll have something Jaws on, and I have stuff strewn across the classroom. And we were having our Halloween party day. It was Friday afternoon of the 31st. Kids in the afternoon, they dress up for Halloween. They come in, they do a little parade around the school, and they have parties. And this boy's teacher, fourth grade teacher, came up to me and said, "We've been looking for you all afternoon." He was so afraid he wouldn't get a chance to see you. He was dressed up as Hooper from Jaws.
Oh,
Aw.
that's cool.
Fourth grade kid. He had the fake beard. He had the hat, the jean jacket. He had the duffel bag. He had the sneakers on, and he had a little Jaws, like a name tag thing on it, said Hooper on it.
Oh, I love it.
That was the coolest thing that's happened to me in a long time. I thought, wow, I got one. I got it on the one. So
Give that kid an A.
That's right.
Exactly.
No kidding.
I can't anymore. I don't have him anymore. But I can talk to his teacher though. I'll let her know.
Yeah, that's great. Hey,
Very cool.
Betsy, have you seen the sequels? What do you think of the sequels?
You mean 2 and
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Jaws
I
2.
like them just as much.
You
I've
do?
watched
Yeah.
all of them too.
Oh,
at the
that's
same
great.
time.
That makes you a big Jaws fan. You like them all. Great.
Oh, I do. I
There
like
you go.
every one of them. Jaws 3 threw you off a little bit, but then when the Revenge came out, it kind of tied it all together.
Sure.
But yeah, I
Do you-
loved all of them. Of course, Jaws is the best of all of them, but
Sure.
Yeah, very entertaining, and I loved it. It had sharks in it.
Betsy, do you think they should try and remake it?
No, absolutely not.
I agree with
No,
you.
it would ruin it. And they would
Yeah.
use all those new special effects, and it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So I'm not for it.
Thankfully, the film Jaws will always remain untouched. So even if they remade it, it will never affect the Jaws that
That's
we
good.
love.
Yes.
It'll
Well,
always be there.
how do you guys feel about a remake?
No.
No,
Never
okay.
happened.
I was curious.
Never happened.
You can't improve on it perfection.
Yeah.
You're not going to recreate the experience.
Well, in all these new shark movies, right away you see the shark and what it's doing. The whole thing about Jaws, it was such a mystery, and you were just waiting every second. You thought you'd see it, and you didn't. And so I love that too.
Well, I mean, even so much as when Schwartz did Jaws 2, he said, "Hey, it's already been done, so let's show the shark."
Mhm.
I mean, he knew then, that it had to do that. Yeah. So we do have James said one or two things I did want to say here, and then we'd like to kind of wrap up the show with paying a little homage, a little remembrance to Roy Scheider this week. Obviously, one of the 3 stars of Jaws. James, who's been hanging out and commenting over on Facebook, has a couple things. He said, "Does Spielberg not put a shooting star in all of his movies?" And I'm pretty sure he has. That has been something he has done since Jaws. Am I right by saying that?
I'm not sure if it's every film, but he's done it. I know it was in Close
Quite a
Encounters.
few.
Quite a few of them. I don't think it's everyone, but quite a few.
Yeah. And James also says, "No way to a remake, but he would like to see a sequel." Yeah.
A sequel to Jaws?
See, another Jaws sequel. That's what he's saying. Yeah. Listen, no matter what, if something came out and it was Jaws related, I would go put my money down and go see it.
Sure.
No, whether I thought it was going to be good or bad or what. But yeah.
According to my Alexa, Spielberg put shooting stars in movies to commemorate when his dad used to take him to a meteor shower.
Go to settings.
Oh, no kidding.
Stop, please. Yes.
So that was the whole reason.
My Alexa off, Mike. My Alexa went off. With you saying that, it just went on.
How does that work
Matt's,
at Billy Joel's house? Because his daughter's name is Alexa. How does that work?
That's a constant argument. Matt's saying Jaws redone. When Schwarzenegger was told that Total Recall was being redone, he commented it was a stupid idea. He was right. I'll stand by his understanding of such thing. 100% agree with you there, Matt.
Yeah. That was a bad remake.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
But go see Running Man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
the original.
You saw it, Michael?
It's really good.
Really?
I just saw Predator Badlands. That was terrific. I loved it. Did you see that?
I was just listening to a podcast that was talking about that, and they said the same thing.
It's the best Predator film. Better than the first.
No kidding.
Yep. It was great.
And supposedly they were in talks with Schwarzenegger about the idea of bringing him back to some capacity in the future.
I'm not going to comment because it'll be a spoiler, but see the film. And if you get a chance, see on Hulu, there's a animated anthology film called Killer of Killers.
Killer of Killers, yeah.
That in addition to Prey. But Killer of Killers is a spectacular anime type Predator film, and it's great. And that might answer your question, Nate, if you watch that.
Okay. I heard there's a lot of Easter eggs in that film to other films as well.
Yeah. But check out Predator Badlands, terrific action film.
All right. Well, James is backing you up. He's saying yes, it is an excellent film.
There you go.
So, yeah.
All right, James.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, we were going to wrap things up tonight with a little memoir to one of the incredible actors, not just in Jaws, but in his own right, Roy Scheider. Roy Scheider, his birthday would have been Monday, Tuesday, I believe.
Monday.
would have been his 95th birthday, and there's a lot of things floating around in the pages, and we felt motivated enough to just put a quick little remembrance video up. We thought would be a nice way to kind of hang our hats this evening. Just a quick little ode to Roy for everyone. So just kind of sit back and hang out, and hopefully you enjoy and recognize some of the pictures. Hopefully you enjoy and recognize some of the dialogue as well. I've been kind of going back and hitting on some movies and some scenes all week long, kind of reminiscing Scheider and how many great films that he was in, how many wonderful characters he had. So I'm going to pull us off the screen and kind of let this run, and we'll come back and say our goodbyes. And if you want to see the video again, it'll be up across the page, and it'll be up on the TikTok page as well. So Val, our right hand there, is going to be taking care of that for us. So all right, so let's pull up. I'm going to remove us. I'm going to pull up Roy here. Here we go.
Can I have this dance?
Ooh, Curse of the Living Corpse.
History, man, about the barbershop. What side of the street, man? North or south? North or south?
What's going on? That's not a real problem
There we
for us.
go.
We just had a little accident. A little accident? Yeah, well, I can explain the whole thing.
I can do anything. I'm the chief of police.
Hey, you know what he told me the other day, Montoya? He told me you looped one of those things, a helicopter. You didn't, did you? He's just put me on, right?
No, it wasn't.
You mean you actually did? You looped a chopper?
That's right.
When?
When I was young, stupid.
Hey! Don't touch me!
Luke?
about your face makes me want to slap the shit out of it.
So I look for a role that's got some aspects in it that I can find that have never been explored in me. So you see, it's kind of a self-analysis that's going on all the time. And the fun of it is constantly finding new things about yourself as you're looking for things to play in the character. And that's one of the fun things about acting, is that you're constantly finding out about yourself by playing other people.
Good job, Nate.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
We miss you, Jimmy. We miss you.
You sure?
Yeah.
By the way,
Thank
they
you,
just
Roy.
came out 2010, coming out in 4K. It's a great film, and a great Roy Scheider performance in that film too.
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been diving back into his stuff all week long. Yeah. The 7-Ups, Clue, and the more memorable stuff. There was a lot of stuff that he did in some of the 80s and 90s that I thought was done pretty well. The Fourth War, stuff like that. 52 Pickup. I mean, just a ton of good stuff.
I don't think he ever did a bad performance. He's never been bad in anything.
That 52 pickup and picture gas was 94 cents a gallon.
Yep. Yeah. Did you see that? I remember those days. It would hit $1, man, and people would be lined up for blocks because it hit $1. Yep. Awesome. Well, we're going to kind of hang our hats on that, guys. We want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you guys at home. Thank you very much for the compliment there, Christy, Matt, to you as well, buddy, and everyone for joining us and hanging out with us. James, you as well, has been hanging out with us all night, talking about 52 Pickup right now himself. Betsy, really appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. And glad.
You guys, I will. I've enjoyed so much spending this time with you.
You're great. You're
Nate,
great.
we got to catch up. Maybe Thanksgiving holidays.
I'll listen. Not a far drive away, so let me know. He's stop, grab coffee or something like that. Yeah,
sure.
Seriously.
Sounds good.
Well, let me know. It sounds like you've got a good amount of time on your hands. So let me know what you got and let me know. We will definitely do that. I would love to do that. That would be a lot of fun.
Thanks, you guys. You're great.
And you'll be taking the pressure off of my wife. She won't have to talk about Jaws for the day. So
all right. I would love to sit and listen to you all night.
Well, tune in every Thursday, Betsy. We're here.
I will from now on.
Yeah, and you guys at home too. So obviously we're here every Thursday. YouTube, Mayor Vaughn Productions. We're over on, we've got a TikTok presence, Buster Capone over there. Let's Talk Jaws Live. Also, you can listen to us on the phone and in the car. You can catch us on Spotify, Let's Talk Jaws Live, and over on Amazon Audible as well. And they're free. You don't have to pay for them. So you want to hop on and just listen to us, in the car going to work or going for a walk or something like that. We are there. So reach out, hit it, follow us, and hit the like button on a couple of them. We would really appreciate it. All right.
Right.
All right. Well, as we always do, Betsy, we have a little thing here. We do fins up. That's how we say goodbye around here. If you want to join in, and we're going to let Quint take us out as he always does. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Have a wonderful weekend. And
Thank you.
We will be back.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.
You can never go the right way.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Hey, Betsy.
Bye.